All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, welcome back to King of the Diamond, where we do not play it safe. We call baseball exactly how we see it. All right. And right now, man, the MLB is getting spicy. You got the Orioles making noise. You got the Braves looking like one of the few real heavyweights in the league. The Cubs are heating up finally. And the Mets looking like a complete mess. Hello. Loving it. And on top of that, man, you got stars hyped up, young, hyped up names that we already know, and they're really getting put under the microscope. Okay, so today we're going to not do any soft takes, man. We're doing nothing but hot takes. How about that? Nothing but hot takes, man. Let's start in Baltimore. The Orioles came back with a 6-run eighth to beat Cleveland 6-4 on Friday. That's not fake toughness. That is not look. Excuse me. That is one random. Excuse me. That is not one random high inning. That is a team with belief. They dropped Saturday's game to Cleveland 4-2, which is fine. But real contenders aren't teams that never lose. They're teams that keep putting pressure on you every night. You understand? My take is the Orioles are past the point of being interesting. They're a real problem. Not because they're perfect, because they don't look scared. And in baseball, that matters. Young teams usually play like they're hoping not to mess up, and Baltimore is playing like they expect to win. They expect to matter. The Orioles are one of those teams that fans keep trying to downgrade until suddenly it's July and everybody's pretending that they saw it coming. Now let's talk Atlanta, man. On Friday, man, hey, the Braves beat the Phillies 9-0 behind a Martin Perez shutout. Austin Riley went deep twice. Then on Saturday, they came right back and beat Philly again 3-1 with Chris Sale going 7 innings, striking out 7. That is not just winning, that is controlling a series. Meanwhile, the Phillies have lost 8 out of 10. The Braves still carry themselves like one of the few teams in baseball that fully understands who they are. There are a lot of good teams. There are not a lot of good teams that feel dangerous every night, and Atlanta is one of them. So outside of the Dodgers, man, I still trust the Braves um, more than basically everybody. Why? Because when they lock in, they don't just beat you. They make you look smaller than you thought you were, and that's what contenders do. They expose teams who they thought were on their level. Shout out to the Braves. Now we got to talk about the Mets. The Cubs beat them 12-4 on Friday, then 4-2 on Sunday, then walked them off 2-1 and 10 on Sunday. Completed a 3-game sweep at Wrigley to extend Chicago's winning streak to 5 and drop New York to an 11-game losing streak. That's right, 11. At some point, you cannot hide behind it's early. You can't hide behind that anymore. No, early can become identity real fast. My take is the Mets have crossed over from slumping into everybody's looking around the room territory. Because when you lose that many in a row, now it's not just baseball. Now it's pressure, confidence, leadership, media heat, fan heat. All of that goes into that whole pot that we're stirring up called the Mets right now. When a team loses 11 straight, every star on their roster becomes a part of their conversation, whether they like it or not. So they got to fix whatever they got to fix in Queens to steer that back right. And that leads right into Lindor. Again, this is where I'm going to keep it real. When the Mets are spiraling like this, you don't get superstar treatment and escape accountability. You just don't. I'm not saying Lindor is suddenly not talented. I'm saying that when the team is in a free fall, your biggest names get judged first, and that comes with the territory. Lindor is is in one of those stretches where every at bat feels heavy because the team context is so ugly. Um, and once fans start asking questions, it gets harder to separate the player from the contract, the expectations and the results. They paid the money for him, so you got to deliver. When a team loses 11 straight, man, nobody wants to hear about the pedigree. They want impact. And if your stars aren't changing the energy, fans are going to say that they're part of the problem. Now, on the other side, let's talk Cubs, who have won 5 straight. Sunday's walk off came with a PCA scoring PCA scoring the winning run after 10, leading off the third with a triple. So yes, he's absolutely impacted the game on Sunday. He did. I came last week and I said, "What's going on with PCA?" Maybe he heard it. Who knows? You know, but one big moment does not mean every concern disappears. PCA is one of those players where when people want the full breakout because the tools are loud, the hype is loud, the upside is real, and the money is real now. So I get it, but hype is not production. PCA can help you in flashes and still not be fully ready to be treated like some finished offensive product. And both things can be true, you know. Cub fans should seriously want honesty here. Not fake hype because fake hype turns into fake expectations, as we all know. Now let's hit the Yankees real quick. Of course, Saturday they smashed the Royals 13-4. Cody Bellinger went crazy with 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. That's the kind of box score that makes people scream that the Yankees are back and dangerous and all of that. My take is the Yankees are the perfect example of why baseball is so hard to read night to night. Because one big offensive eruption does not answer the deeper questions, it just reminds you of the ceiling. The Yankees are always one stretch away from calling people jug from them from excuse me. The Yankees are always one hot stretch away from people calling them juggernauts. And one cold stretch away from people calling them frauds. That's what happens when the brand is that big. That's what hey, pinstripes heavy, baby. So that's where I'm at today. The Orioles are done being underrated. The Braves still feel like one of the real powers. The Mets are a full blown mess. Lindor is absolutely under pressure. PCA still deserves a real conversation, not just hype. Baseball right now, baseball is heated. Drop your takes in the comments, man. Are the Orioles for real? Are the Braves the biggest threat to the Dodgers? Are the Mets cooked? And how much pressure should be on Lindor right now? This is King of the Diamond, man. I appreciate you as always for tuning in. You know we do this every single day. Make sure you check out the live stream 4 p.m. Eastern right here on the Tube and on the TikTok. The link is in the bio for everything, man. I appreciate you guys as always. You already know it's the King